Plasma cutters work more efficiently, making clean cuts with less heat and more precision. Using a plasma torch, inverter technology has lowered the costs of plasma cutters. However, serious plasma cutters are still expensive. You need a high-quality air plasma cutter best suited to cutting thick metal precisely. It has to be energy efficient without costing way too much. We found 5 of the best models on the market to help you make sure you find the best plasma cutter. Number 1, Lotus LTP 5000D 50A NonTouch Plasma Cutter. LOTOS has been driving down the price range for entry into the world of plasma cutting. The Lotus LTP 5000D continues the tradition with 50 amps of power and a 60% duty cycle at an attractive price point. This cutter has NoTouch pilot arc starting, capable of cutting up to 5/8" stainless steel plate. The Lotus LTP 5000D only weighs 26 pounds and comes with a 1-year warranty. It features 120 and 240 dual voltage input and a PAPST cooling system based on German technology. This machine uses an external compressor for its high-pressure cutting air. Some owners feel that the ground clamp and ground cable is made a little too cheaply. Lotus includes a pressure regulator and air filter with the machine already mounted inside, using a compressed air quick connector for the air compressor. Lotus says the LTP 5000D can be set up and ready to run in less than 1 minute. However, most also praise the Lotus warranty service for quick replacement of their plasma cutters and free shipping for the return process. Pros: NonTouch pilot arc, cuts 5/8" mild steel plate, includes a pressure regulator, duty cycle 60% at 50 amps. Cons: doesn't include the connector for 120 input voltage. Number 2, TOOLIOM 50A NonTouch Plasma Cutter. This is a plasma cutter with a pilot arc whose tip is designed not to be touched. The TOOLIOM TL50C uses an inverter system with IGBT technology. It's a plasma cutter with a 60% of duty cycle. The ergonomic handle and a guide spring should ensure better handling. The plasma cutter is designed for cutting steel up to 12 mm thick. The device cuts electrically conductive materials such as brass, copper, steel, aluminum, and stainless steel. The dimensions of the device are 11/8 x 16/14 x 6/3 inches. It's more compact when unpacked. The weight is given as 22.4 pounds. The scope of delivery includes a ground cable, a hose package, an air pressure regulator, a torch and supply line, and more. The plasma cutter is user-friendly and suitable for beginners. The pilot arc is intended to enable rapid ignition. The regulator could be tighter. A few users complain it leaks when air pressure is applied. You will also need compressed air from a tank or a compressor. Let's assume you use a tank and a hose to connect it to the cutting machine. Then you'd have to figure out a way to fit under the car with an ungainly welding helmet on and hope that the neighbors don't notice the extremely bright light that will be cast during the cutting process. Number 3, Lotus LT 5000D 50A Air Inverter Plasma Cutter. The Lotus LT 5000D is the younger sibling of the Lotus LTP 5000D and is a user-friendly plasma cutter that includes everything you need to get up and running, with the exception of the air compressor, which isn't built in. It also features an easy-to-read front panel and air pressure gauge. We do wish the power cord was a little longer, but it doesn't affect the cutter's overall performance. One of the best usability features the LT 5000D boasts is the automatic dual voltage and dual frequency functionalities. With this, you can easily use the cutter at both home and your shop. In fact, it will automatically switch between voltages without any need to manually adjust it. When it comes to performance, you'll be hard-pressed to find a plasma cutter that is more precise or high-speed than the Lotus. It uses high-frequency inverter technology to create the most efficient and rapid cutting performance. We were also impressed with Lotus's pulse width modulation (PWM) technology, which allows you to create a more consistent cutting experience with 30% more efficiency. You'll be adding this plasma cutter to your tools alongside your best grease gun in no time. Number 4, Welder Cut 55DS 55A Plasma Cutter. Welder Cut 55DS is a high-frequency non-touch plasma cutter, best suitable for precision and accurate cutting with minimum or no slag. It is famous for its non-touch torch arc plasma technology that cuts through the metal with minimum or no slag. This produces a quality like cutting the butter through a hot knife and offers the best consumable life. The plasma cutter uses non-touch pilot arc technology that cuts through the metal without touching the metal surface. The high-quality plasma arc cuts the metal with minimum or no slag. The plasma cutter is designed so optimized that it does not need much maintenance and cleaning. It provides a clean, non-hazardous, and easy cutting. A less clean-out, work, and maintenance bring a hassle-free cutting process. The plasma cutter provides a high power output for thicker metals and a steady power output for thinner metals based on MOSFET and IGBT transistors, a high-frequency DC plasma cutter suits the metal fast with less distortion. Pros: non-touch pilot arc, precise and accurate cutting, clean surface, non-hazardous gas, lightweight and portable. Cons: no clear instructions on the manual. Number 5, Prime Weld Cut 60 Non-Touch Pilot Arc Plasma Cutter. The Prime Weld Cut 60 Plasma Cutter is a powerful machine able to cut up to 7/8" steel in a single pass. This is a dual-power plasma cutter, ready to run on either 120 volts or 240 volts. It weighs only 21 pounds. Incredibly light for a plasma cutter with this kind of power. On 120-volt power it puts out 30 amps, enough for 3/8" steel. The high-frequency no-touch arc starting offered by many machines will interfere with digital electronics, making them useless for computer-controlled plasma cutter tables. The Prime Weld Cut 60 Plasma Cutter gives you computer control ability with a blowback torch. Blowback torches use air pressure buildup on the work surface to start the torch, eliminating digital interference. The Prime Weld Cut 60 Plasma Cutter uses a continuous pilot arc. This system lets you cut expanded metal and grating by shutting off the torch over air gaps and refiring the arc once it's over metal again. It's also very effective on rusty, painted or dirty metal. Users love this machine's 20-foot torch lead. Pros: blowback no-touch arc start, includes pressure regulator, front panel air gauge, great customer service. Cons: some complaints of air leaks.